are able to teach this cyber citizenship, as well as the usage of different computer programs. So we are addressing that issue as well. Do I wish it had happened before? Because I sit down and go, oh my gosh, you know, like you get down with a new program, you just start cooking. But we're also, as we go through this process, there will be practice assessments that are out there. Your kids can do that today. They could go online and take practice assessments that are out there. We're a part of a pilot program this last year with a handful of our schools, some of our high income schools in communities, as well as our low income communities. And we know that that's an issue, and there is some equity with what kids have access to and what they're able to do. I trust you though, your children are much more comfortable sitting down with a brand new program than we are. Because they're natives, we're immigrants when we look at the digital age. So I'm confident that kids will be able to figure out what they need to do as long as they're given the opportunity to learn that. So providing them with that opportunity, absolutely. We also mentioned doing the infrastructure. We do have Measure C as community members. You voted for, maybe you didn't vote for it, but it passed. And that was Measure C. So what that is giving us is the ability and the funding to upgrade the infrastructure in our schools. We did a comprehensive needs analysis. What do they have? What is the age of them? We didn't say, oh, they were bought just last year, they're brand new, because by the time we finish, they're going to be old. So we took that into consideration. And we're working through building that infrastructure and putting it in, and we are testing it out. There are some schools that are like, it's in, but we keep running into problems. And, you know, we're finding out we have old brick buildings. Well, Wi-Fi signals don't go through brick very well, so we're having to, you know, make those adjustments, but that's what we're working on at this point.
And in addition to the Measure C money, like Lisa was talking about, the Common Core has provided funding for districts and teachers to roll out the Common Core. And there's 3 areas that we can spend that money. One is instructional materials, the second is professional development, like I said, how to teach our teachers to teach the Common Core, and the third is technology, those 3 areas.
As a parent, how can I ensure that my child will be able to use the system on the computer? I mean, how can I be confident that my child will be able to use the testing system? I mean, I can ensure that they're understanding the curriculum, but I can't necessarily ensure that they understand the program that they're using to do the testing. Will I, as a parent, have access to the program that they're using?
I think there will be available for parents for home use or through apps that you can purchase things that are very similar. If we gave you the testing, or if the state released the testing program, that would put your child at an unfair advantage to somebody else who didn't have that. However, they also do release test questions after the assessment. So
I don't mean the questions. I understand about obviously not giving you the questions, but I mean the actual program, like you were referencing, a drop-down highlight menu that will help that they can use to do their diagrams, etc. Obviously, part of this, you know, to obviously get the assessed correctly what they understand, we have to make sure they know how to use the equally, all of them. Now, if my son's teacher is, you know, almost 70 years old, you know, I can't necessarily rely on the fact that he or she is going to be able to teach them to use the computer testing system properly.
Absolutely.
So I feel like as a parent now, that's another layer of something I'm going to have to protect and help them understand, not just necessarily the, you know, information, but how to use the actual computer system. So as a parent, can I access that testing system so that I can show them, here's where you go to get the diagrams, here's where you go to write in your answers or type in your answers, etc.
It would be great. We don't even have access to the testing system at this point, other than what we have done as a pilot program.
Okay.
Which they, you know, give us a log on. We actually log on to a server. I do believe that will be out there. I also know that we are teaching kids those skills in classes because we're starting to develop types of programs that would do similar skills. At this point, do we have something that says this is exactly what the test? We don't even know what the test is going to look like, other than the pilot that we did. And the reason for the pilot was for us to, you know, say these are the problems with it. This is, you know, the successes and the frustrations. So that's the point of the pilot.
Is it going towards 100% of the testing being on the computer?
Yes.
And is all of that data going to be stored, and who's that data going to be shared with?
It will be. I would assume it would be kept the same as it is the STAR testing. That the state stores that data. We do get results for all students, and we keep that secure, obviously, within our student information system as well. because we use that to find out where kids have needs, if we need to provide
Right, of course.
interventions. So,
Right.
the state is the houser for that, as they are.
But it's also, is our individuals' information at this point shared with the federal government? Because I understand at this point there's a bill of rights to protect the FERPA, that protect
I have,
individual
in my
rights
experience,
of
I've never
children's-
shared anything with the federal government other than, what we see online, which is the, summary results, it's not individual students, so
Well,
I'm.
will parents have access to the
Okay.
questions that our children are expected to answer before they have to answer them? Because my understanding is a lot of the stuff is going to a very personal direction, they're, political direction, that they're asking children, well, I know
You know,
you wins, but I could give you,
Again,
specifics.
I'd love to get the information from you, because I would like to check that out, because
Okay.
that's not information that I have ever seen.
Okay,
I haven't heard that. Would I think that's appropriate? No, I wouldn't. But,
Okay.
again, we're in a system and we're in an entity, I don't have control over that,
I know.
at this point.
I
So,
know, I'm
you
just
know,
curious, I just would like to know what you know.
Can you do me a favor, with some of these questions, can you just make sure you write them down?
Yes, of course.
Write it in an email, so then we can,
yeah, an email would be great, then we can
And,
also.
yeah, and
do
I
that.
came in late, and I don't know who all of you are actually, so there will be.
We'll get to that at the end
Okay,
if you'd
great,
like.
thank you.
Question, something was said that greatly concerns me. You said STAR testing has been suspended
Yeah.
for
Yes.
spring.
Yes.
Then you talked about through 8th grade and 11th grade, but what about 9 and 10?
We'll get to that.
Everyone.
We'll get to that, okay. Okay, so I really wanted to show you two teachers in action. Unfortunately, we don't have an internet connection because they did not leave us the wireless passcode, so I apologize. There are a lot of videos out there, this teaching channel. You can search on the www.teachingchannel.org, and that will give you the ability to see some lessons in context that are being taught by teachers, some here in California, some in other states. It would just give you an opportunity to see the difference in the instruction. Again, I apologize for that. We're not able, technology has gotten in the way, and I do apologize. Again, that's the teaching channel. YouTube even has some Common Core
Yeah.
videos that are on it, so.
This PowerPoint will be on our website as well.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
I know you may be taking down notes, but this PowerPoint will be on our website.
Right, we're getting through our presentations, we're
Okay.
making the
You'll have
adjustments, we're
access
adding
to it.
some questions that come up, we're making clarifications, so once we have it in more final stage, we will put that up. But if we put it up now and then we change it, then that just creates a little bit more havoc. Teachingchannel.org.
Oh, wait, this presentation.
Oh, no, this presentation will be on the district's, MDUSD.org.
Thank you.
There's, on the left-hand side, there's a Common Core link, has great resources, it's got parent questions, that the PTA has put out, some frequently asked questions from parents, that access is there, as well as the grade level standards, that, you can look at for your child's grade. Okay, so, technology. Okay, I can keep going. That's exactly-
You're rolling.
I'm on a roll, I guess. We talked a lot about technology, so this is a pretty easy one. We are going to ask students to be able to produce and publish documents. They need to have those typing skills, those word skills. It's a shift for us that we're actually, I don't know about you, but I took typing in school. But of course we typed and we hit the return and it went across, and now the kids just keep typing and they don't understand what you mean when you say hit return. But we're also asking students to interact and collaborate. We're asking kids to participate in web forums with their classmates, not out on the internet. But having a learning management system that they can access, and they can have conversations with the kids in their classroom over issues. They can post their homework to there, and the teacher can see that. They can. They're just being asked to interact and to collaborate with their peers, which I think is a wonderful skill. I don't know about you and your job, but we interact and collaborate with our colleagues all the time. We will be asking students to know how to use different web tools. And yes, we may have to teach those students because they may not have access to it at home, or may not have the experience with it. We're also asking them to evaluate information that it comes over different formats. You can have internet, you have newspapers. Again, newspapers are somewhat of a dying breed in the paper form. I personally still like to hold it like this when I'm
Don't take
reading
that
it.
personally, Teresa.
I do.
I didn't say anything about the writers, I just said the papers. But the circulation has gone down, and it's really hard to get a hard copy of a newspaper these days. Everybody reads it online. Everybody has different preferences. with the Common Core, technology is not standalone, it is